Yay!
Hey, fuck your god damn it. So this is Matthew, the Odd Atheist Friends, and there is Eric. Hi, Eric.
Hey, Matthew, what's up?
What's up, dude? What's the haps?
Oh my gosh, it's been a minute.
It has been a minute.
Um,
So we say life has gone on. So
yeah.
for you and for me, life has happened. Sorry about the hiatus for a little while, but we're back.
We're back, bitches!
What up?
Too much. Too much.
Way too much. I've got a couple of things to say, if you don't want me getting off my chest here really fast. I've never really been a big fan of like this, I got an itch in my ear. But anyway, that wasn't the thing I wanted to say. The thing I wanted to say was that Christmas is now way too early. It was happening halfway in October, like Christmas stuff was up. And now that Halloween is over, we are, mid in November? Are we mid in November? Yeah, close enough. It's the 10th of November. And so, like, I'm hearing Christmas music in the mall. Shoot me in the fucking face. So,
yeah. So I just moved into a new apartment with my new roommate. And right when we were moving in, the first fucking thing he does is starts playing Christmas music. I was like, so this is what's gonna happen. This is what I've moved in with. No, it's great though. It's great. Not the Christmas music, but
yeah. But there are two kinds of people in the world when it comes to Christmas. You've got the, it's a meme. It's like you've got the elf. You got Will Ferrell as the elf, and then you got the other guy going. And so it begins. I'm the latter. It's fake happy. It's bullshit. People are ruder than they normally are because they're pissed off that they got to go out shopping. Everything is crowded. Everybody's trying to buy gifts for people they don't really like for things they can't really afford. And people spend 3 months paying off Christmas, generally speaking. And so that's about right. So, and then you got somebody who, like my wife, whose birthday is in December, and you can't get birthday and Christmas presents at the same time. They can't be Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday. That's bullshit. Mm-hmm. So, Christmas present, birthday present. So,
yep.
And it's a tight month. December is always a tight month. So,
I like a good tight month.
Wow. I like good and tight too, but that's I'm talking about not in my wallet. That's entirely something else. So, although my Sachi is definitely one of these I love Christmas people. And so she broke out the Chris Kindle Market coffee cup that we would go to the Chris Kindle Market downtown Chicago. And so this one is in the shape of a heart and it's got a Christmas thing. And so, yeah, it's super cute, but to me, it's a coffee mug. Oh, yeah, hang on. Here's the other one that was there. Hi, Sachi. She's just waving. She doesn't want to have her voice on the podcast. Come in. That's her hand.
Hi, Sachi's hand.
The 20th anniversary was last year. So, it's it's the German market. And that was for 2015. That was a couple of years ago. So, here, thank you, baby. So we go every year, most every year, to go down, and it's the German market in downtown Chicago. It's a lot of fun, but it's where the Picasso is. Right across from City Hall and Daly Plaza. So, but it's always fucking cold because it's December.
Yeah.
So, but
she loves about this life right now.
She is the Christmas person, and I am bah humbug.
I feel like I'm like in between. I feel kind of neutral. Like sometimes I really feel in the spirit because I'm like, Yes, I love Christmas lights and like buying people things and whatever. Like I'm poor, but whatever. And like making people things and sending people things, but also it stresses me out and it's like too much. I feel like I'm in the middle,
I
but
get you.
I don't know.
I, for me, it's more of like the social stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like Marble is going all crazy and bouncing around. So if you hear cat stuff, it's probably Marble going crazy. He's about a year old. Anyways, he it's because of the people for me, you know, and just the craziness of it. And it's just like I can't wait for it to be over, and it always calms down about the middle of January, and it's like, you know, that's what I. It's like okay, all the craziness is over. People can go back to their lives and their normal 9 to 5.
Yeah. I I don't know. I guess since I moved here, it just hasn't been a big thing because I don't have anyone to do holiday stuff with. Like I don't have any family here and you know, like it's not really a thing. I guess I mean I have friends and I work and we celebrate with the kids at work and stuff, but it's just different, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the only family I've got really left here in Chicago is my wife. I mean, I don't know what I
Yeah.
really talk to. So, but I mean, we do Christmas for us in our way. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
you know, like I said, she really likes it. For me, it's not really a thing. But I mean, if she likes it, I'm cool with that. You know, it's just that there's just a lot of I'm annoyed by a lot of stuff and and people doing the you know, the forced fake happiness. Oh, Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, for one, the Christians stole it from a pagan holiday. Don't get me started. You know,
Mhm.
it's like,
Yeah.
do not get me fucking started. I am like a clock. Do not fucking wind me up.
I like that Christmas is kind of like I know it's like a Christian type thing in America, but it's very much an American holiday type thing.
Stolen pagan Christmas holiday. Yeah, you know.
Yes. It's very I feel like the way we do it in America, it's like just an American thing and it's like a very cultural thing and
Yeah,
like maybe it's not the best thing, but it is
it's
something everybody can like come together on, which is cool.
um in Europe, it's celebrated differently, and a lot of Europe is very Catholic, and especially when I lived in Spain. So, but it's a little different because it's Catholic, not Protestant. So it's a little bit different. Um, most stuff is closed on Christmas Day. They don't do, you know, like the the Christmas Day shopping. You know, like that late at night 6 o'clock stuff. You know, they don't really do that. And in Japan, it's just another day. For the most people, it's just another day because they're not, generally speaking, not Christian.
Mhm.
So it's either Buddhist or Shinto. So December 25th is just another day. It's just a cold, dreary day, you know.
Yeah.
And if you're in Hokkaido, you've probably got 3 meters of snow. So
Yeah. It's snowing here right now.
is it really?
Yeah, I'm over it. I'm so over it. Oh my god, yesterday I went out and it was snowing and I had to go to work for a little bit and my car was already sliding around and I was like, I'm fucked. Like this, I'm fucked all winter. Like I'm gonna get stuck and I'm gonna hopefully crash my car and total it and then I can get a better one.
You know what you might want to consider doing is possibly getting like 3 or 4 the biggest bags of kitty litter you can find and just putting them in the back. And so to give weight to the back of your car, and also if you get stuck, you
Yeah,
can spread it around. So kitty litter.
I really should do that. I also need new tires and more money and
Yeah, we
who
all need
knows.
more money. Everybody needs more money.
Oh, I
So
know. I know. I know. Hopefully, I'm going back to school next semester. I'm still waiting to hear back and to see if I can afford it, but we'll see.
okay.
I'm trying to
Um,
go back to become a licensed addiction counselor.
nice,
Yeah.
nice. Um, off the side point, but for snow, it's kind of interesting. It snowed here. We got like 2 inches that stuck, and it stuck around for like a day, but leaf collection stopped because it was the first major snow. So they're no longer collecting leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And so half of the leaves were still up on the tree when we got our first snow. And that was like 2 weeks ago now. And so most of them are, well, I'd say a good, like 75% of them are down. But still, it's like, this has been a really weird year. And Farmer's Almanac is saying it's going to be a cold and snowy winter. So it's like it's just been rain all this year. We've had so much precipitation. Crops were bad this year, but global warming is just a fucking myth. So,
Fake news.
Fake news. So,
Fake news.
Fake news. So, but that's awesome that you're going to go back and try to work on your counseling. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, it's a couple of reasons. One, becoming a licensed addiction counselor is probably the easiest licensure. Easiest being a relative term. But, two, a lot of the kids I work with right now, they struggle with addiction, and I want to be able to help them more. And three, my parents obviously struggled with addiction a lot, I've talked about before, and I think that just is driving me to want to be able to understand it more and help people and stuff like that.
There's all kinds of addictions too. Like I smoked for 22, 23 years. And so quitting smoking was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And that's another form of addiction too. So, I mean, but it fucking sucked. I've heard it said that quitting smoking is the same thing as like hardness is like trying to quit heroin, that smoking is so incredibly addictive, and it 100% is. I probably had 10 serious attempts to quit, and I've been quit now almost 11 years. So
wow,
it was tough though. I mean, it was finally doing it took a lot of work, and and I have less cravings for it now, but I still sometimes do every now and again. Still sometimes get that craving for a cigarette. And so, but smoking is so goddamn expensive, and it's so bad for me, and I'm so glad that I quit. But sometimes they're like, fuck, man, I'd really like a smoke. So I still think about it every now and again.
Yeah, the brain chemistry's insane.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So what's up, man? What do you want to talk about?
Shit. I don't know. So I mean, every day, I'm just getting older and learning to be an adult more. Like you think like at a certain point, I mean, in my head, I was like at a certain point, like I'm an adult, and then yeah, I'm gonna keep learning shit. But you'd think like your brain would just be like, okay, we're an adult, let's function. But no, I don't know. I just keep learning new stuff and learning how to deal with things differently and figuring out how fucking hard being an adult is. Like, yeah, ever since I've been like 17, 18, I've been paying for my shit, I've been paying for my bills and whatever. But that's just part of being an adult. Like, learning how to manage your emotions and like grow from them and just, I don't know, manage your shit with other people and be able to have a functional relationship and all of that. That's important adulting that I think not a lot of adults actually do, which is why, and like managing all your trauma and all like from like episode 71, owning all your shit. That's something a lot of people don't do, and that's why we have so many addictions and people like covering all their shit up and numbing themselves out because they don't know how to and they don't want to deal with it, and that shit is hard. And that's where I'm at right now, Matthew.
It's funny that you say that you bring this up, because yesterday, Sachi and I were walking around Walmart the other day. I fucking hate Walmart. Anyways, it's beside the point. But like we had said before, it's fucking cheap, and it's just, but I fucking hate it. I do. I hate going there. I'm not like, let's go to Walmart. Oh, I fucking hate Walmart. It's like we were down the street looking for coats for Sachi, and it's like, okay, we need to get this and that and the other thing. And so we went in for one thing and left out with 5, but we left out for under $50. So that's good for us. That's really, really good for us. Because normally when we run in for an item or two, we leave for 200. So
there you go.
But anyways, so I was just like, I forgot exactly how it happened, but we were walking down the street, and I was walking down in Walmart, and I was looking at the stuff. I'm like, we're like in a toy section. We were passing by the toy section. I'm like, they didn't have all this shit when we were kids, and so we were discussing that because Sachi and I are about the same age, and and so we're like, and then I sat there and I looked at her and I thought for a second, and then I looked at her and I went, you know what sucks? And she's like, what's that? I'm like, all of this stuff that we're looking at now, it's like, we see all this stuff, and it's like, when you're young, it's like, your body is together and you're having so much fun, but you're a fucking wreck psychologically and mentally and all that kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And then when you get to our age, when you get to, hopefully when you get to more our age, it's like, you're together psychologically and mentally, but your body's starting to fall apart.
Fuck. No.
And it's like, I happen to think that I'm more well-adjusted than I was when I was in my 20s, for damn sure. And in my 30s, you know what I'm saying? I mean, especially my early 30s. I mean, I was still carrying over a lot of stuff. And anyways, but, now that I'm well past all of that, and I've worked through a lot of my childhood and teenager and 20s trauma, stuff that I've done to other people and other people have done to me, it's like, now that I'm past all that and more adjusted healthily, at least for myself, that now my body's a fucking wreck. It's just like, I can't play all the fucking great games and stuff that I used to do when I was a kid. It's like, I can't go out there and run and play flag football or whatever, It's like, I can't do that shit because I can't fucking run anymore because my knees are bad. It's like, I got bad back, I got bad knees. It's like, even the slap and tickle is pretty painless. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just...
No. If you're not watching the video, my face is just no.
I'm just, you understand what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And so it's like, yeah, adulting sucks, and I don't think you're ever really over it, and nobody ever does it perfectly, and you're still learning, and you're still growing, and at least you should be every day learning stuff and growing and that kind of stuff. But by the time you get to where at least you're fairly well adjusted for the most part, your body's going to shit.
Great. Thank you for giving me that to look forward to.
You're welcome. Anything else I can help you with?
I don't know. I don't know. Like,
I am here for you, Eric. Never forget that.
I definitely won't. I'm here for you too, Matthew. Look, we have almost matching butt tattoos, so...
We do. Almost matching butt tattoos.
Yeah.
We got them close to the same time, too. Which, by the way, our year anniversary just passed for the butt tattoos.
It did, because I got it right before I moved here, so I've been in Fargo a little over a year now, and my butt tattoo is our butt tattoos are a little over a year old, and I don't look at it a lot.
That's one thing we forgot to ask Heath. We forgot to ask him where his Puzzle in the Thunderstorm ass tattoo was. God damn.
Yeah. Next time.
Next time.
I firmly believe everyone needs an ass tattoo.
100%. 100%. If you're going to get a tattoo on your motherfucking ass.
I have 2 of them. Cause you boy cool. I don't know.
I'm really liking the hairstyle, by the way. I kind of like how the shaved on the side and goes over. I like that.
I got a nice fade happening and some cheek beard happening.
Nice.
It's slow, but it's progress.
Did you ever think about going the Don Johnson 3-day stubble look?
I don't know. I still struggle with this happening, but I do need a shave probably.
Put a guard on it, a long guard, and so this way then you still got it.
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
Clean up that neckline, man.
Well, it is clean. I just got it shaved. It was pretty clean. Like when I got this?
Yeah. Well, here I am telling you, and I never clean up my fucking neckline, so.
Yeah, it's pretty clean.
So, anyways.
Whatever. Anyway. Yesterday, and speaking of Walmart, I was in Walmart yesterday. I was getting like some soda and shit. Anyway, and I was in line, and this little girl, well, probably like 10 or 12-year-old girl, maybe younger, I don't know. She was like, she had a lisp or something, so I couldn't really understand her. And I thought she said, ask about my glasses. And I was like, oh, yeah, they're real glasses. And she's like, no. And she's like, can girls have mustaches? And I was like, yeah, I guess. And she's like, are you a girl with a mustache? And I was like, no.
Wow.
Oh, and then her sister was like, are you a boy or a girl? And I was like, I'm a boy. And then their dad was like, he's clearly a boy. And I was just like, I don't know right now.
I think that's kind of funny. It's just, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, it's like the girls misgendered you, but the father gendered you correctly.
I know. It's all very fascinating, Matthew. I don't know. I think kids are always interesting because I get lots of different reactions. A lot of kids still see me as a girl, and I don't know. Maybe kids, like, their brains are just developed to see things differently, like, Yeah. I don't know. So whatever. And then adults just see me however they think that I should be.
Yeah.
It's just fascinating how brains work and shit, but
it really is.
I don't even know if I get upset by it anymore. Also, I've been really trying to own my shit and own, like, that I always own that I'm trans and stuff, but, like, own the past. And, like, I know a lot of trans people would be so against this, but I think it's really important for me to do. But a lot of trans people are like, that's my dead name. That's who I don't associate with anymore, right? And I'm over here trying to own it and, like, say it and be okay with it because that's who I was for 20 years. Even if I didn't really necessarily identify with it, that's how I lived, who I was, how people knew me, and I can't just get rid of that. You know what I mean? And so
I also find names somewhat transitory too. It's like Eric is what you want to be called. Yeah. And so it's like Sachi's last name always wasn't Maxon. Do you know what I'm saying? Sachi had a different last name before she got married. She took my last name when she got married. Yeah. But does anybody call her Sachi Miyazawa now? No. Because that's not her name. I mean,
I know.
It's like, what's the difference between somebody getting married and taking their spouse's last name between you wanting to be called by a different first name? It's like, I don't see the big deal. It's like, it's like, if that's what you want to be called, then that's what you want to be called. I mean, you want to be called Eric, so I call you Eric. Yeah. I don't see the problem with it. So I don't see where other people are like, I guess it's because they don't want to think that people who want to dead name people, and this is just my idea, I think that the reason why they want to do it is because they don't want to accept the change.
Probably. But I feel like if I own it and I'm like, yeah, that's who I was, but it's not, I go by Eric now. Like, if I can own it, I think that puts the power behind me and not behind them.
Yeah.
And I need to be the one with the power, not them. I don't know, but I've been trying to own it. I've been, like, trying to just be like, yep, and I still have feminine qualities. Obviously, I don't know, gender is it's such a cultural construct, and it's very performative. It's very fluid. I don't have to be like, hello, I am a man, and I am, like, super macho, I'm masculine, blah, blah, blah. Like, I can just own all these different parts of me. And it is very interesting when we bring in being trans into the dating pool, especially if you're not dating other trans people. If you're dating like cis, like I primarily date cis men, and that has proven very difficult because, yeah, so just it seems that even if a cis man identifies as, say, bisexual or whatever, they still struggle with me and they still struggle to see me fully as a guy, because I have different body parts and I utilize said body parts. And I do see how that would make life difficult and seeing me as a guy difficult, which it's a process. It took me many years to get to where I'm at now, seeing myself as a guy with a vagina. So I could see where if I have a partner, even if they identify as bisexual, they would have a hard time seeing me as a guy sometimes. It's very frustrating for me though, because I have worked through that myself, and then having to wait for a partner to work through it is very difficult and annoying. Especially when I go into a relationship saying all these words. Hello, my name's Eric. I'm trans. I have a vagina. I'm a guy. Can you deal with that? And then, of course, they don't really know until they go through the experience, I guess. And I have to be the fucking one educating them or telling them to fuck off. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really frustrating.
I can empathize with the situation. I can't sympathize, but I think I can empathize.
Yeah. Yeah. It's frustrating, and it's a lot to put on the trans person to do that. But again,
relationships are hard enough without extra layers. And
there's so many layers here.
Okay, Shrek.
I'm a goddamn onion, okay? A motherfucking onion. You heard it here first. Trans people are onions.
Trans people are onions. I'm going to start. We just got it. Eric is an onion. Eric is Shrek.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Did we ever have rails to be on? I don't know. I don't think so. Anyways.
I don't live my life in a box.
Yep.
But yeah, it's tough. Tough. Being trans is tough. I've been thinking about that a lot, actually, the past several months. Especially the past few weeks. Just being trans and being queer and being out is so hard. Like, that sounds like such a simple statement, but I've put up this wall, of just like, my wall is like, I'm very out, I'm very open, I'm very strong, I'm not gonna like pay attention to how people treat me, I'm just gonna be me, fuck everybody else, right? I kind of put that up, like not as aggressive as that, but like that's what I've done. And I've kind of started letting that down a little bit and seeing how people are treating me, how people are seeing me, and it fucking sucks. Like, I was in the library a couple weeks ago, I can't remember if I said this on the show, but I was in the library a couple weeks ago I was at my job working, outreaching to homeless people. And this one guy, not a homeless person, yells at me, and he yells faggot at me. And I'm like working, and I'm like, I'm not even sure how to react to that. So I just say, okay, and walk away.
I would have looked at him and said, your point is...
I don't know. It was just really uncomfortable.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of that, I posted a video. I posted it to the Facebook page yesterday. High school kid. Well, this one kid had been fucking with this other kid who was gay for a long time, and the gay kid slapped the shit out of him. Now, I don't 100% agree with violence, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I think there might comes a point where you have to defend yourself, definitely. Do you know what I'm saying? And so this guy was in this young man. I mean, they're both the same age. They're in the same class. But, I mean, he was in his face. And so I definitely would have taken what he was doing. There was some shoving going on. And after he got shoved, he slapped the shit out of him. And I'm like, good for you. I mean, don't take that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't have to take anybody calling you names, and especially if it comes to physical confrontation, 100% defend yourself. So, and he slapped the shit out of him. But anyway, so it's like the kid got suspended because, well, he started a fight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they got into a fight, so the kid got suspended. But apparently, gay Twitter fucking blew up, and he's just like, "Good job, kid. Don't let it fucking get you down. It's great. You defended yourself." It's a great
Yeah.
article. If you get a chance to take a look at it, you should take a look at it. It's a really great article. But yeah, I'm not 100%, like I said. Violence should be the last resort, but if violence happens, defend yourself definitely, and that's what that kid did, and I'm very happy that he did so.
Yeah.
So it's very empowering for the young man to do so, to be able to defend yourself. And so I would have looked at that guy, said faggot. I would have been like, your point is, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just like he's using words against you. I'm just saying this is what I would have done. It's like somebody calls me a dork. I mean, or stuff like that. I used to take that shit. And now it's just like, yeah, what's your point? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I am. I own that shit. Fuck you, man.
Yeah. I just it was a weird position to put me in because I was at work and I had another coworker with me and I was just like, I'm not really sure. I don't really engage. I don't conflict. I'm more of a, like, we can talk about it, but if you're like just gonna be the aggressor, you need to calm the fuck down, and I'm not gonna educate you if you're gonna be like that. That's too much.
I see that. And you were also at work too, so
Yeah.
I 100% get it.
It was really weird. I was like, I don't even know. There's no policies about this. I told my boss, I was like, well, what should I have done? Like, and she's like, well, just be glad I wasn't there. And I was like, oh my God, okay, that didn't help me.
That's not an answer, but I appreciate that. Maybe.
Yeah, I know. I was like, okay, I guess she would have defended me and she would have gotten angry. And then everybody I talked to says they would have gotten angry. And I'm like, well, what's the point of getting angry? Like, people, maybe they don't outrightly yell faggot at me as much, but they look at me weird all the time. I get lots of weird looks, stares, like people telling their kids to hide behind them. I get lots of weird shit. Okay. And it's like, I'm just being me. I don't know, you know? Like, I am like the least threatening person you will ever fucking meet.
And I'm just sitting there just like, what's the point, man? If somebody doing some shit like that, it's just like, why? It's like, hide behind me. It's like, really?
Yeah, it happened again at Walmart yesterday. I was walking by and I guess the mom told their kid to like hide behind them. Like, it was like a little kid, and I was like, okay, I'm literally just walking by. But okay.
Wow.
I don't know. I also live in North Dakota, and people have a lot of issues with.
They do. They do.
So.
If you're not a WASP, then you're a piece of shit. So, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
Okay, I was like, what? I got the white part, and then I was done.
Yeah. So, yeah. Just seeing a lot. Fuck. The outright racism and stuff that we've been seeing for the last couple of years. It's like, I'm sorry. Were you done?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, the outright racism that we've been seeing with Donald Trump and all that kind of stuff. And we just, what was it? Somebody was sitting there saying that what's going on now seems reminiscent of Germany in the late 1920s and very early 1930s with the rise of Hitler. And so I really hate to bring up because it sounds like that, like Godwin's rule, right? Godwin's law, where it's like, oh, you bring it back to fascism. But we are Donald Trump is a wannabe fascist. And so he praises all these super authoritarian people like Putin and the guy from China, whose name is escaping me right now, who said that he's going to be president for life of the Chinese party in China right now, and that kind of stuff. And North Korea, and this will never not piss me off. The president of the United States saluted a North Korean general. That will never not make me mad. Never. As a former military person, the president doesn't give salutes, he returns them. You return them, and he saluted first. Cadet Bonespur is reporting, sir, to a North Korean general. And this is the day before Veterans Day, and Trump said that he's going to walk in the Veterans Day parade, and it's like, I just hope his bone spurs don't act up. I mean, you know, all of this is just maddening to me. And so, yeah, the look of grimace on your face is 100% on point. And so, yeah, but that's only the side point of what's going on that's really pissing me off recently. It's Jeffrey Epstein was a serial rapist and child molester who got away with crimes. And then some time ago, he was rearrested on some new crimes, and he realized, I'm fucked. And he died in his cell. And we briefly discussed this a couple of months ago. And there are people saying, and I hear this all over the place, because I have, conservative friends and that kind of stuff, who are like, oh, the Clintons had him killed, or something like that. It's like, oh, he had all this stuff over all this people. I'm like, okay, maybe he did, but that's just because he's dead, that doesn't mean that's going to stop anything from going on. It just stops it with him. But all that information that he had and all that evidence doesn't go away just because the person you were initially going after is dead. No, it's all still in play. But anyways, so people are saying that the Clintons had him killed and he didn't kill himself and all that kind of stuff, that he hung himself with toilet paper or something. No, he didn't.
Oh my God.
He hung himself with a bedsheet. And he hung himself from a bedsheet from his bed frame. And so you can do that because, what was it? I forgot his name, but he was a martial arts action star who was doing autoerotic asphyxiation and tied himself to the bar in the closet and died doing that. So if you hang yourself long enough, even if you have control over the situation, it can get out of hand. And that's if you're wanting to stop yourself from hanging yourself. If somebody wants to die, they're going to kill themselves. So, and this guy wanted to die, I think, because he realized he was fucked. And so he hung himself from a bed frame. It's 100% possible to do. And he did it because the guy was fucking determined to off himself. It can be done. So he fucking killed himself. And so I'm seeing all this place. I just, people are saying that, oh, Kennedy didn't kill himself and all that kind of stuff. That there was, that movie from 20 years ago about JFK was bullshit. I'm just saying the conspiracy theories are usually crap. And so Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. So just because it's a meme doesn't necessarily make it true. I'm just getting tired of fucking seeing this shit. And I see it everywhere in the conservative places,
Why would someone have him killed? I don't know enough about the situation, I guess.
Because supposedly he's got enough information on high people, all these millionaires and billionaires and politicians and stuff, that they'd have him killed so they couldn't get prosecuted. Which doesn't make any fucking sense, because just because Jeffrey Epstein dies, if he's got all of these tapes on other people, that doesn't make it admissible in court. It's still admissible in court. It's bullshit. So you're like, oh, with Jeffrey Epstein dead, they can't get all these other people. Yeah, that's not how the law works.
To be fair, another thing, like, just to bring it back around, another thing I've been learning as an adult, as I've been learning how to adult, is that, one, the law is very, unfortunately, malleable, especially if you're rich, it seems. 2, fucking lots of people break the law.
Yes, all
All
the
the
time.
time. Constantly. 3, a lot of laws are bullshit. 4, I don't know how we're ever gonna know the truth on anything. It seems like we get lied to all the fucking time, and I don't know. Like, I guess we just have to be okay with not knowing a lot of stuff. I don't know. It's fucking all of it's bullshit. Like, this is kind of vague statements, but that's just things I've been noticing as I'm getting older, and like I see it, and like maybe it's just partially like the population I focus on, working with, like the at-risk and homeless population, but then I see like a lot of other adults that aren't in that population, and they're all breaking the law, and like everything's really fucked. The world is fucked.
And one of the things I think that, speaking of that, is that being part of law enforcement for a short while, you really see how unfair things are, and not everything is fair for sure. And so sometimes you don't get resolution. Sometimes there isn't. So, but also somebody who has been involved with law enforcement for a little bit. Like I said, just because Jeffrey Epstein died doesn't mean the evidence collected in his case becomes inadmissible to other people.
Mm-hmm.
It is still admissible. And as a matter of fact, it even passes a hearsay test. So it's no longer hearsay. So I'm just saying, I mean, there's cases that go on all the time that we don't know about and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, just give it time, because he only died a couple of months ago. And so it's not like an episode of Law and Order where the person gets arrested and then convicted in an hour. It
Yeah.
it takes months and sometimes years for stuff to work its way through the courts. This isn't over. You know what I'm saying? So we're only seeing the very, very beginnings of it, and Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. So at least I say he killed himself, and I think anybody with their right thinking who isn't susceptible to conspiracy theory thinking is like, hey man, it's only just beginning, you know. And we've talked about this before, where I think that the Christian right is very susceptible to conspiracy theories, because I was one of those guys who was into conspiracy theories for a long time. So I'm just saying, I just think it's bullshit. So yeah.
I will say, just where I'm at right now, I wouldn't be surprised if someone killed him. I also wouldn't be surprised if he ended up killing himself. I don't know. I just, the way I'm seeing like things going, I don't know. Things just don't always seem to line up the way we think they should or are, like the right way. I don't know.
100%.
Like
100%.
things are fucked. I don't know. So, but I don't. Obviously, I wouldn't know. I don't. No one would know, I guess,
Yeah.
except for him.
Yeah, and he's dead, and as they say, dead men tell no tales. So
Speak to dead.
speak to dead, 100%. Yeah. But there was also something else that I wanted to talk about, and that's, there are people who are out there who, at least as far as the conservatives go, who don't give a damn as the politics go in the U.S. They are one or two issue voters, or the only thing they really want to do and care about, like Donald Trump is doing, is pissing off the libtards. That's all they care about. That's all they care about. They don't care what Donald Trump does as long as they piss off the libs. That's it. I really feel that these people know nothing about politics, don't give a shit about politics. As long as they piss off the libs, they are happy. I have seen that more and more. They're more and more open and honest about it, that they don't give a shit about the politics themselves. They don't give a shit about anything but pissing off the libs. How do you really consider yourself to be a patriotic American as long as you're just trying to fuck over the other party? I don't see how this can continue to be a working society.
I think we need to abolish the party system, first off. Like, to be
The
honest.
founding fathers didn't want to have parties to begin with. George Washington was against political parties. 100% against them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I've been listening to a...
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I've been listening to a podcast, Wicked Game, about the elections in the United States. And it's going over every election from George Washington all the way up through to the election coming up in 2020. There's just enough time if you listen to one episode a week. Actually, you need to catch up to stay on schedule. But It's been on for about 6 weeks now, and it's fucking amazing. Wicked Game, the American elections. It's an amazing podcast. So, like, professionally done, not our shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, scripted. So, I mean, it's an amazing, like, voice acted. It's a great podcast. So, awesome. 100%. You don't have to download it. You can listen to it online. You can stream it and listen to it. So, yeah. But it's a great... Anyways, you were saying. I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't know. I was saying we need to abolish the party system, but I feel like I had something else to say, but I don't remember what it was right now. Oh, okay. So, living in North Dakota and interacting with people here is different than North Carolina, because North Carolina is very conservative, but it's just different. Here, let's see. Like, my best friend, one of my best friends here, and the person I'm dating currently, both very much more conservative than me. Very conservative leaning. I don't know if I have a problem with certain conservative things. I do have a few conservative beliefs. It's just I tend to definitely lean very liberal on most issues. And so when they talk to me, and other people here talk to me about Trump and things like that, it's very hard for me because you can't just make people understand things like privilege and...
No.
Things like that. You can't just make them believe that. It's such a slow education process, and that's if they're even open to it.
Yes. You cannot educate the willingly ignorant.
Yeah, and you can't even explain to people that they're willingly ignorant.
No.
So it's so hard. And like, here's the arguments I'm getting back about Trump being good from queer people. These people are queer. They are white men, but they're queer. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Don't you understand Trump's against us? Whatever. So they're saying, let's see. One, I don't like Trump, or we don't like Trump because he actually says things how they are. And I'm like, he says things like that because he's racist and he hates women and he says those things. And then they say, no, that's just the media portraying it like that. And I'm like, no, it's not though. But
those are the words that are coming out of his mouth.
Yes, they're not just taking little clips and making it out of context. Like, you can watch Fox News and he says the same thing. Anyway, and then another argument I get is, oh, well, unemployment is at the lowest it's been, so Trump is doing great.
No, because they're not understanding the quality of those jobs. There are so many people who are way underemployed. So, I mean, if you're picking up garbage for $9 an hour, you're underemployed. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah, if you're working,
you have to have 2.5 minimum wage jobs to have a 1-bedroom apartment anywhere in the United States.
Yeah.
You have to make at least $15 an hour anywhere in the U.S. to have any kind of quality of life. Any kind of quality of life.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, sure, you're not unemployed if you're working 4 jobs, but
no,
your life fucking sucks.
Yeah, you are underemployed.
Yeah.
You actually are not making enough money. So, congratulations, boomers. You have totally fucked over the country. Fuck the boomers. Fuck the boomers.
Oh my god.
Do you want to talk about the OK boomer for a minute?
We can.
Okay, so, and this is coming from a guy who's Gen X. So, This is somebody who like, okay, so I bought a We Are the World, the cassette tape back in the day. So I thought I was doing something to end world hunger. No. Anyways, I'm somewhere in between, I guess, maybe. But anyway, so the boomer generation for the longest time has been saying to Gen Y and Gen Z that you guys are know nothing, do nothing, you guys are lazy and all that kind of stuff. And, we did all of this stuff. And yeah, but proportionally your pay was higher to what everything cost and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, gas was 39 cents a gallon, but you were making $5 an hour. So, you know what I'm saying? So $7 an hour or whatever anyway. So the cost of living was a lot less. Just saying that you had proportionally higher wages. And so, a brand new car was $6,000 for a brand new Mustang GT back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I mean, whatever. Okay, boomer. But anyway, so people are saying when the boomers say the stupid bullshit, when the Gen X guy or the Gen Y and Gen Z just as an insult are just like, okay, boomer, as an insult. And so, yeah, it's kind of funny.
I feel like it's the millennial. Like, I've seen a lot of the memes are like the millennials, yeah, against the boomers. And I guess I'm a millennial, but yeah.
I just find it funny, and it's like, isn't it such a boomer thing to say too?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and they're like, that's a slur.
Did you hear that they actually said that it was likening to the N-word?
Yeah, I heard that.
Really? Fuck you. I mean, that as I just said, that is such a boomer thing to say, considering most of them are racist as fuck. So
yeah. Oh, speaking of racist boomers, I wrote I wrote a letter to my grandma, telling her that I'm trans. So
that'll go over well.
I'm sure. I was like, honestly, at this point, why am I not telling you? Like,
good point.
Like, I mean, she's seen my beard. I don't, like, in person. She just looks at me really funny. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to write you a letter, tell you if you hate it, you hate it. If you don't, you don't. But she hasn't gotten back to me yet. But that was like two weeks ago. Yeah, fun facts. Just, I'm like, I'm fucking over it. I'm going to tell everybody. Like, she was the last one, I guess. So
yeah. Awesome. I'm glad you did it.
Yeah.
Was it freeing? Do you feel better after writing it?
I mean, I felt a little better. I guess, I don't know. Not telling her was more for her than for me.
Yeah.
But I just felt like I should just be open about it at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, too. I mean, it's like you can't deny telling your grandmother the truth about what you feel for yourself. And so, yeah. It's like, I don't want to lie to other people, and I certainly don't want to lie to myself. So, Grandma, here you go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So you know that song? Okay. The Same Love, where it was back in like 2015 when marriage equality was a big issue.
Yeah, I vaguely remember the song. Yeah.
And it's Macklemore and a girl, and it's like, and she sings. That came on my playlist randomly yesterday while I was driving home, and she started singing the part, I can't change even if I try. And I just I had some tears. Like, I don't cry very much, but I had some tears coming out my eyes. I was like, I can't change. And the world fucking sucks. And I can't change who I am. And what my, getting relationships, they're difficult. And existing in this world is fucking difficult. And having family when you're queer is fucking difficult. And I don't have that many people, but I have some really great friends. And I can't change who I am. And blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I had some tears. It was a really heavy moment.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So one of the things that, total side point. Anyways, Sammy and Marble are playing. I got my DNA done a couple of years ago. Anyway, so there's been some updating in my DNA history on the website. So Sachi decided that she would order my DNA book. So I got my history of my DNA, and it's actually kind of cool. There's a lot of good stuff. It's like my ancestry compilation and haplogroups and all kinds of stuff. So
That's very cool.
it is very cool. It was kind of expensive, but it was actually super cool. The U.S., where a lot of my relatives are.
Oh, wow.
And I'm trying to find the world map here. Anyways, so one of the things that I found out about myself that's really super cool is that I found out that I'm over 10% like Viking. Nice. And so, yeah. So German, English, French, and like Norwegian, right? Or not, so basically I'm like 10% Viking. And so I've been really kind of embracing some of that stuff, and we've decided that we want to go over to Norway and Sweden to find out where some of our relatives are, at least some of the areas and that kind of stuff. And, well, this is where my relatives are. So, but anyway, so really kind of embracing that kind of stuff. So I was actually thinking about when I grow my hair longer, that I was watching the TV show Vikings, that maybe I'll shave a lot of this and grow like the long ponytail, but like shave all of this, but the long ponytail from here, and just grow this long and just shave the rest of that. I think that'd be fucking super cool. And so it's like, it's a really Viking way to grow your hair. So I was, like, I'll admit it, it's like I'm losing my hair. I've got the male pattern baldness. I've had it since I was like 15, 16. So, but yeah, it's like, so let this grow out a little bit, let it grow long, and then maybe do that shave, you know what I'm saying? And just grow that out.
That'd be cool. I'm working on growing this out so I can do a top knot up back here, but it'll be a couple more months, but
yeah, I'm actually getting to the point where I can almost gather my hair to a ponytail now.
Nice.
So, but anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I think I'm about done. I think I'm spent.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Life's hard.
It sure is. I'm working on getting another game for next year because we are almost finished with the Trump.
Oh, shit.
We're almost finished with the Trump.
Wow. So, we are almost finished. Almost. He's going to get impeached.
I hope so. But as somebody else was saying in conservative place I was at earlier, that he's not going to be convicted by the Senate, that they're going to fucking not even take it up. So,
probably not. But regardless, we're almost done with him, even if he's not.
This is true. So anyway, so let's play some Trump. It's about that time. Okay. So you ready?
Yes.
Me. Me.
All right.
Card one, court one. When a president does it, that means it's not illegal. Quote one.
Sounds like Trump.
Quote two. The president of the United States is allowed to have whatever conflicts he wants, he or she wants, but I don't want to go by that.
I don't think Trump would have said he or she. So we're going to go with number one.
When the president does it, that means it's not illegal. Richard Nixon.
Fuck, I thought that might have been Nixon. Damn it.
What was it? I heard somebody called Trump the fat Nixon the other day, and I fucking got broken for about 5 minutes. It's not so wrong. True. Yeah. No, not wrong. And Nixon wasn't exactly a small guy neither. So for him to say a fat Nixon is fucking brilliant. It really is. But anyways, the president of the United States is allowed to have whatever conflicts he or she wants, but I don't want to go by that. Trump.
Maybe that was during like debates or something about Hillary. I don't know. No, I just feel like
it actually wasn't that long ago, but I actually remember him saying that. Can have what he wants, and then pause, he or she wants, but I don't want to go by that. It's funny because it's like he sometimes remembers for a millisecond that he needs to not be so sexist for a millisecond, and then Did you hear lately that there was an article saying that any kind of like female staffer that he calls them honey and sugar and that kind of stuff, and like we're talking like seriously accomplished people.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's like, you, Mr. President, they're choking down, not calling him a sexist pig to his face. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I find it funny. Anyways, quote card 2, quote 1. We all get old, but I will always say the skinny, pretty girls will be screwed. Quote 2. I don't want to use the word screwed, but I screwed him.
All right, one is either Trump or Hugh Hefner.
That's funny.
Fuck. We'll go with number 1.
No. Paloma Faith. I have no idea who this person was or is. We all get old, but I will always say the skinny, pretty girls will be screwed. Paloma Faith. Number 2, I don't want to use the word screwed, but I screwed him. Trump. And so I'm basically saying that Trump said that he fucked him over in a deal.
Okay.
The other person was actually talking about fucking women. So
okay.
Let's just get that honestly. So, this one's great. This one's really great. Card 3, quote 1. Right now, they're in love with me, okay? 4 weeks ago, they weren't in love with me.
Mm-hmm.
Quote 2. If one morning I walked up on top of the water across the Potomac River, the headline says that afternoon would read, President can't swim.
What?
If one morning I walked on top of the river, on top of the water across the Potomac River, the headline that afternoon would read, President can't swim.
Right. What was the first one?
Right now they're in love with me, okay? 4 weeks ago they weren't in love with me.
That one has to be Trump. That's just how he talks. Number 1.
That is Trump. Number 1 is Trump. Number 2, Lyndon Johnson. Johnson was the guy who took over. Was it Johnson Nixon or Nixon Johnson? Johnson Nixon. Yeah, because Johnson took over. Was it Johnson that took over after Kennedy was assassinated? Yeah, Johnson took over after Kennedy was assassinated. So, yeah. But Johnson won the re-election. He got re-elected. So he was, after the assassination, he then ran for office afterwards, and I think he got it. So, but he was in office like 6 years, I think. So, anywho.
Yep. 1 for 3. That's fine.
Those were actually pretty tough. I thought those were pretty tough. So.
Yeah, the ones where he says, okay, you can just tell that's how he talks.
Yeah. Because he's just that big of a fucking dumbass. So.
Okay. Words, okay.
They pretty much decided that he speaks like a 4th grader. So, yeah. And that's about what his reading level is, too. So, I mean, the guy just doesn't read. He's an ill-educated moron. But as long as they're fucking over the libtards, that's all they give a shit about. Anyways.
And as long as we can try to keep women and people, I just got rid of myself. Let's erase trans people. Keep women down and trans people down and everybody, and not let you control your bodies, and we can keep our guns. That's all we care about.
Yep, keep your guns. Yeah, it's funny because it's harder to get a license to drive a car in most states than it is to fucking get a gun now. So.
Yeah.
But as long as you can't vote, motherfucker, we're all good.
Mm-hmm. That's a whole conversation.
That is a whole conversation.
Matthew, it's been good talking.
It
We
has
should do this
been
more often.
We should.
Says the one who keeps saying they can't do it. Life's been hard. I don't know. I moved into a new apartment. Life's just been difficult, but hopefully
don't get me wrong.
balanced.
One of the weeks was me, so I've had life stuff go on too, and we took a little bit of a hiatus. We do that from time to time. We need to stop that.
We just exist. It's fine.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so yeah, it was good to go back and vent and talk about the stuff that's on our minds again, and hopefully somebody's listening.
Yeah, if you are listening, we super appreciate you still. Thanks a lot.
To our patrons and everybody else who listens. Rate us, goddammit! Give us a rate on iTunes.
Yeah, rate us, like us, subscribe, patron us. The good news is if we don't post a lot, you don't get charged a lot.
Good point. I hadn't thought about it that way. So, yep.
Thanks for listening.
All right. See you later. This is Matthew and for Eric. This has been on Odd Atheist Friends, the Odd Atheist Friends, if I can get my mouth to work. Anyways, we'll see you next time. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.